Okay, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, coming through fine.
So I would like to start with the introduction of PFL. PFL Group of International is one of the leading UK-owned managed student placement agencies. We offer the widest range of services and commitments to our students, customers seeking higher education to UK, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, USA, and UAE. Today, most of our students study at esteemed universities. We PFL care for the future based on our quality-oriented practices, knowledge, and education. I am Sayyida Farwa Bas, Marketing Officer at PFL Education Pakistan from Karachi office, and today I'm here to take the interview of Mr. Nick Croft, who is the Senior International Officer at Salford University, UK. So, is there anything else that you'd like to add in your introduction?
Sorry. Just to say good morning, really, and thank you for having me. It's really nice to be speaking to you today.
Let's begin with the interview. My first question from you is what are the different opportunities and features for students to study law through University of Salford?
Law is quite an important program at Salford. It's within our business school, so we teach it alongside our degrees in subjects like business management, international business, and accounting and finance. And with law, we teach at undergraduate level the standard LLB in the UK. The LLB is the Bachelor of Laws program. Most universities in the UK offer it. And it is a program that offers, if a student wants to become a lawyer in the UK, it's the standard degree that a student would do. It doesn't vary much depending on where you study it because at least in England and Wales, it's regulated by the Law Society. So they lay down quite strict guidelines on what you have to study. So you would cover a number of prescribed modules in things like criminal law, family law, torts and liabilities, international human rights law, and so on. So an LLB doesn't change a lot in terms of the content wherever you study it. What does tend to vary a bit at different universities is perhaps the way that it's taught. So we teach it with a very strong professional emphasis, helping students with their skills on things like mooting and dealing with clients, business strategy, that kind of thing. And we aim to produce students who are very professionally ready at the end of the program. You can also do the LLB at Salford in conjunction with other programs. So you can do it with things like business management or criminology. Sometimes if students are interested in going to the police, they might want to do a law degree along with criminology. If they're interested in commercial law, they might want to bring a bit of business management into it. So we give them some flexibility on that. We also do some master's law programs as well. So we do things like specialist one-year masters in programs like commercial law, construction law, and so on. And students can see all of these on our website, and it's very easy to find the programs.
My next question is what are the different law degrees you would prefer to the international students who are willing to pursue law as their professional degree in Pakistan or in any other country?
I think the standard LLB is a really good one. It gives students a very good grounding in different areas of legal study. As I said before, it's very professionally orientated. Students have the opportunity to do a one-year internship as part of the course as well if they want to. They don't have to, but it's something that we offer and tend to recommend. And it's a very rigorous program, so students will get a really good grounding in that. So I think the standard LLB is a really solid one. Then, obviously, if students are looking to specialize in a particular area, they have a choice of different master's programs that they can go on to after that.
What are the entry requirements for undergrad and postgraduate at your prestigious university?
Okay, so we accept the Pakistani HSC for undergraduate entry. Students would generally need to be getting 80% or above on the HSC for entry to a bachelor degree program. If they don't quite have that grade, they can come and do our one-year international foundation year. We offer a lot of different pathways on that program. So students can go on to a very wide range of degrees after doing it. So for example, if they wanted to do a program in management or business, they would do the Business and Law Foundation. If they wanted to do biology, chemistry, or engineering, they would do the Science and Mathematics Foundation year, and so on. You know, we offer this across a lot of our programs at Salford. In terms of entry to a master's program, we would generally, I mean, obviously, you know, universities in Pakistan vary, but broadly, we'd be looking for students to have completed a 4-year bachelor degree with a GPA of 2.5 or above, or about 55%. So that would be the kind of baseline requirement for students wanting to come and do a master's with us. We do try and be flexible, so if students have work experience, you know, we can look at that as well as academic qualifications. So I'd say if students are perhaps slightly below our normal entry requirements, they should still contact us, because, you know, sometimes we can accept other things instead.
Um, how much does it cost for the living at, at
Well,
your university?
we're located in Manchester, which is one of the biggest cities in the UK, but I think it's still quite reasonable in terms of cost of living. Certainly less expensive than London. I mean, London is a great place to be, but it is very expensive, particularly in terms of things like booking your accommodation and day-to-day costs of transport. Manchester is a smaller city, it's easier to get around, public transport is very cheap, and you can rent accommodation more cheaply as well. We would normally say that students, you know, need probably between about £9,000 per year to cover their living costs. The students do have to show living costs in their bank account when they apply for their visa, as you'll be aware. And that's just a little over £9,000 per year at the moment. So that, I think that's a reasonable amount to recommend. And that would cover students' accommodation, their daily kind of everyday needs like phone bills, clothes, going out, shopping, food, everything like that, quite comfortably.
Um, does your university allow students to get IELTS waiver or accepting alternative English tests like Duolingo versus placement test?
We take IELTS and TOEFL like most universities. We do accept a wide range of other ones as well, things like Pearson, Michigan, the language cert ESOL, Cambridge, and GCSE or IGCSE. Unfortunately, we don't take Duolingo. We did try it for a while last year in response to the coronavirus situation, but the feeling was from our language department that the Duolingo test isn't rigorous enough for academic study, so we don't take it now. And we don't take like English proficiency certificates from universities. So if a student has studied at an English-speaking university in Pakistan, unfortunately, they would still need to get an English language qualification. The only exemption to that is if a student's actually done their degree at a UK or US university, and they want to come and do a master's, then we can accept that.
What scholarship opportunities does university provide, and or grant percentage, or what are the eligibility criteria for the scholarship?
We do a range of scholarships. Most of them, all students are automatically assessed for, so they don't need to make a separate application. When the students apply for their degree or their master's program, we look at their grades, and it's based on their previous grades that they've got. We have a range of different scholarships. So there are some that are based on which program you're doing. So there are ones for health programs, for science and engineering. There are also scholarships for students specifically from South Asia, so Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. We have gold and silver scholarships, which apply to all courses. And then, as an exception, we also have what we call the Salford International Excellence Scholarship. That's the only one that students have to make a separate application for. And the application for that is based on a 2-part essay. We ask students to write about, you know, their past, their experiences, things they've achieved, why they think they deserve a scholarship. And the scholarships are available up to £5,000 off the fees in the first year. So if you think that on average our fees are probably around about £15,000 per programme, it's quite a large scholarship in the first year. That would knock about a third of the fees off. Students can see full details of all of these on our website, and they can check which ones they'd be eligible for and how to apply if they need to.
Okay, sir. Your biomedical science degree is a highly popular program. Would you like to discuss about it?
Yeah, it's a really interesting area. We do quite a lot of programs in the areas of biological and chemical sciences. Biomedical science, I think, is particularly popular, partly at the moment because obviously a lot of people are interested in, things like biomedicine and disease because of the global pandemic that's been going on. It is it's a course that offers very good career opportunities. And we've invested a lot recently into developing a very good new modern teaching laboratory, which has space for over 100 students at once. It's fully linked up with telescreens, and the equipment is industry standard. And it's an area where we do quite a lot of research at Salford as well, particularly into medicine dealing with cancer, and that's a big area of research at Salford. We have a translational medicine lab as well, and we do a lot. We work very closely with the National Health Service in the UK, so it's got a very good professional focus as well.
That's great. What different safety measures are taken by the university against the corona pandemic for international students?
Oh, sorry, I didn't quite catch that. I've got the question sheet in front of me here. Let me just. Sorry, what was the question again?
Okay, I'll repeat it. Uh, what? Sorry. Wait a minute. What different safety measures are taken by your university against the corona pandemic for the international
Oh,
students?
sorry. I understand. Sorry about that. We've obviously it's been quite difficult over the past year for all universities everywhere dealing with COVID-19. We've managed at Salford to keep our teaching going. Students are still studying and graduating. The main thing that we did was to move to largely online teaching, or what we call blended learning. So when we were under lockdown, the teaching was still going on online, and we've always taught for a long time distance and online learning programs. I did my master's at Salford via online learning part-time. So we've got a good platform for that, and students were still able to attend lectures, seminars, tutorials, and so on. With the programs, as things have relaxed a bit, what we've done is prioritize the programs which require practical or in-person teaching. So things like nursing, midwifery, some of the engineering programs, where students do need to be in a classroom. And that we've been able to do that with appropriate safety measures. So things like students being very diligent about sanitizing their hands, wearing masks, social distancing in the classrooms. We've had one-way systems around the campus so that students can keep distance from each other. Obviously we students and staff wear masks on campus, but we are working towards things being as back to normal as possible in September. The vaccine program in the UK is going very well. Everybody over the age of 18 is now able to get a vaccination in the UK. A lot of people over 50 have had both vaccinations, and the UK is moving more towards relaxation of that. So, with kind of 3 months to go before September, we are hoping that things will be very much back to normal. We have a testing centre on campus. We also have a medical centre on campus as well. So the facilities for students are very good. Any students who haven't yet had vaccinations who come in September will be able to get vaccinations through the National Health Service in the UK.
That's great, sir. My next question is what accommodation your institute provides and how costly it is.
We offer our own accommodation on campus. It's very modern. It was all built and opened in the last 5 or 6 years. Most of the rooms have ensuite bathrooms, and they're based around apartments that maybe between 4 to 8 students share. Each student has their own private bedroom with ensuite bathroom. Within the apartment, there's also like a communal kitchen and social area. So students, it's all self-catering. Kitchens are fully equipped with ovens, dishwashers, storage space for food, microwave, everything like that. Students also have spaces with sofas where they can watch TV, play, do gaming, things like that. And the accommodation also has like a laundry. It has 24-hour staff there. It's very secure. So it's a really good environment to be in. There is also a lot of private accommodation available around Salford and Manchester. Manchester is one of the biggest student cities in Europe. There are several universities here, hundreds of thousands of students. So there's a really good range of accommodation available, whether students are looking to share a small apartment, if they want to get a shared house, even a flat of their own. There are options available. In terms of cost, on average, students would probably be looking at about between £90 and £100 a week, something like that. It depends on the package because, some accommodation offers all of your bills and your insurance as part of it. Some of it you just pay the rent and then you cover all of your other costs yourselves. The advice I would give to students really is to take a look at our accommodation pages on the website and see what's out there, and then think about what they want for themselves, because people have their own preferences with these things.
So would you like to discuss about your business degree program?
Yeah, the business school is very popular with overseas students. We have students from all over the world coming to study in it, and it offers a wide range of programs, all levels from foundation through to postgraduate research. Some of the areas that are really popular are things like accounting and finance, banking, international business, business management. We do things like marketing and human resources as well. With the degree and master's programs, there are opportunities for students to do internships or work placements of up to a year. And obviously students can stay back in the UK now for 2 years after finishing on a post-study work visa. And we do a lot of work with employers, with industry. Manchester is a really thriving city economically, with a lot of business, commerce, science and technology, a lot of tech startups, that kind of thing. So there are a lot of really good opportunities for students to network with employers and to get that professional experience as well as the academic side.
That's great. Okay. Can you accept students on the predicted grades of O and A levels and HCC predicted results?
We can make offers to students based on those. We don't accept them until they get the final results. But obviously, it's the same for UK students. They have to wait to get their A-level results or whatever they're studying. And those results are normally out by the middle of August at the latest. So students can still come, even if they're not getting the results for another couple of months. That's okay. What we normally do with most students is we look at their predicted grades, and we'll make an offer based on that. And as long as the student fulfills that or gets near to it, then we will normally accept them.
All right, sir. Does your university provide job placements to their students?
Yeah, we do. I mentioned that we do it on a lot of our business and management courses. We also do it on a lot of other programs as well. So things like engineering, computing, some of the art and design programs, a lot of the health programs as well. So there's probably a majority of our programs do offer the opportunity for students to do internships and placements. How that's structured will vary. So, for example, on a business program, a student might take a full year and go and work for a company. If they're doing a nursing program, then they do what's called block delivery. So they'll do like 6 weeks of academic study and then 6 weeks working in a hospital, and it goes all the way through the program. So the structure changes depending which course it is, but the opportunities are there on most of our programs for that professional experience. And students normally get paid for that as well. So if they do the year's work experience, they would go and work for a company, and they'd normally be paid on average about £15,000, £16,000 per year.
Oh. University currently accepting applications?
Yeah, absolutely. Our deadline for applications at the moment is the 16th of July. So students have about another 4 weeks to get applications in for September. We do have alternative entry dates as well. So we have intakes in November for some of the postgrad business school programs, also in January, March, and June as well. So there are intakes throughout the year, but obviously September's the big one. But yeah, students can still apply for this year.
Any recommendations that you would like to give to motivate students who are willing to pursue like degree in your university?
I guess, I mean, I can give it a recommendation as a student as well as a staff member. I've worked at Salford for about 8 years now. But as I say, I was also a student at Salford. I did my master's part-time. I found it very supportive. The staff are very friendly, very helpful. The facilities are really good. We've put a huge amount of investment over the last few years into it. We built new arts and media building a few years ago that cost £55 million. We're currently building a new science, technology, and engineering building, which we're putting in about 66 million. That'll be open next summer. The campus is very green. It's very pleasant. It's a very friendly environment. It's a very international university. About 15% of our students come from outside the UK. A lot of our staff have international backgrounds, and Manchester's a great place to live. It's a cosmopolitan, friendly city, generally very safe, lots of interesting things to do, easy to find part-time work. The UK is not a big place, so if you want to visit London, it's only a couple of hours by train. But Manchester is less expensive, but you still have that big city experience. You've got two of the best teams in the two of the best football teams in the world. You've got an international cricket stadium very near to the university. Yeah, it's a good place to be. There's lots of good Pakistani, South Asian restaurants. And generally, I think people are really friendly. I've lived in Manchester about 8 years now. I really like it. It's a good place to be.
My last question is what some final words on the current situation and some positivity to encourage the students who are willing to apply.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really surprised by how resilient students are. I mean, we have more applications for September this year than we've ever had before. Our admissions teams are struggling to cope. It's a nice problem to have. We're obviously really popular, and we've had more applications from Pakistan than ever before. I've been working with students in Pakistan for a long time. I first visited Pakistan in 2006, and I was last there a couple of years ago. But we're looking at probably welcoming around 70 or 80 new Pakistani students in September to add to the ones who are already here. So that there's a large community. Things are really starting to pick up in the UK. There's a positive attitude. Obviously, it's been difficult with the pandemic, but I think there's a lot of positive things have come out of it as well. It's brought people together, been very cooperative. The university's got through it very well. So I think there are reasons to be very optimistic. I think student life will get back to normal. We will get through this. And it's a good time for students to think about studying. Maybe perhaps if they've taken a break from their career, they want to increase their skills and their knowledge. It's a good time to be coming to the UK. So yeah, you're very, very welcome. And if students are interested, maybe they want to leave it a bit longer, come in September, come in January or next year, we're very happy to look at taking them for them as well. If students want to defer their offers, they can always do that.
That's all from my side. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Not really. I guess just to say that hopefully we'll be able to travel again soon. I'm very much looking forward to coming back to Pakistan. It's always been one of my favorite places to visit, not least for the food, but also for the people who I've always found really friendly. I really enjoy kind of, traveling around Pakistan, going to different places. So yeah, you're very welcome to talk to us. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me this morning. If you have any questions, pass on my email and my WhatsApp to the students. I'm really happy to talk to them. We've got a WhatsApp group for Pakistani students for September, and we have a good chat on there. So if students want to join that, they're very welcome as well. And thank you.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much for your precious time. I hope this session is going to be helpful for the students who are willing to apply. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Goodbye.
Shukriya. Take care.